Star people. We're back to do it again. Yeah. Happy Pisces moon to you. Imagine the Pisces moon. I tell you, like 15 minutes ago, the whole block just went dark, right? Lights, everything went out. And it was the most peaceful shit ever. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a secret I just got from the spirit. During those times when the lights go out, everything else comes on. Alright? Everything else comes on. And what do I mean by that? Well, for one, when electricity or the lights go out, this is a hell of a download. It was like on the spot. The frequency is open. You know, we have all this interference from all these telephone wires and all this, Wi-Fi and all that shit. It gets in the way of you and your communication. It's like static, you know what I'm saying, on a radio station. It's like static. But when the lights go out and the electricity is off, that static dissipates and your signal, it's clear. It doesn't have anything in the way of it. And the other channel was when you're doing something as far as manifesting, go somewhere, get as far away from these kind of energies as you can, because it's going to clear your energy's going to be clear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like taking a drive out in the country somewhere. You know what I mean? Where your signal drops here and there, blah blah blah. But it was really interesting. I appreciated the fact that I ain't gonna lie, I was a little mad that it came back on as fast as it did. And it kind of puts you out there. But I digress. How's everybody's Pisces moon going? Or your day or your week? You ain't gotta tell me, but it's a good time to check in with that kind of energy. But I'm gonna go back in and revisit, because we're still in that revisiting and all that creative energy is still in the air, strong. So if you do something creative, join in. I don't care what it is, even if it's just journaling or something like that. Well, it's a good time to reflect. The other thing is Pisces rules the 12th house, which is also a house of loss. What you mean by that? Well, it's the last house before the whole cycle starts over again. So this is when we tend to lose things, you know what I'm saying? That are no longer good for us. Or just loss in general. But one way I found to kind of build up credit for that is acts of kindness. And I didn't even think about it because I was in the energy of it the other day. How y'all doing? I'm in the store and I'm getting ready to pay for my stuff. I'm in a dollar store. In the hood, so that's how it is. This little girl walks up beside me. She had to be like 2-3 years old. And she's sitting there with one shoe on. And she points up. She was like, yo, go get, I want a balloon. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, you gotta pay for that. And it's not like she understood, but she understood. And then she started shaking her head and laughing. No, I'm not paying for it, whatever. So long story short, I had exactly enough change to buy this balloon for this little girl. And bless that for her in a way, you know what I'm saying? But that's just an example of how you get ahead of these kind of debts in life, acts of, random acts of service. And then you got to be financial. I didn't draw it, and I'm not really doing anything but going off the concept. Whatever it was before is not what it is now. If you were here for the last video, we had a long discussion, a nice discussion on one of them things with artists is when do you pick up the pen. And I was telling lady in the audience that understanding my work up to this point, I realized that sometimes it might go about a year before I pick up that picture again and start painting. And this is one of them. It was already displayed. I had it in the store, my homie's store, for about a year. So I saw it almost every day when I was in the shop, at least 3 times a week kind of thing. And it finally just started talking again. So I picked it back up and brought it home. And the other thing was you can't be scared to go over something again. It's kind of one of them things where if you had a second chance to do something or say something, and I took the opportunity. And instead of, there's a video before which shows the pictures of what it looked like before. This looks totally different because she was straight silhouette. Like you only saw one eye, the nose was out here, blah, blah, blah. She was looking that way. But it wasn't as intimate as I would have liked for this picture. And what I mean by that is the interaction between her and the environment, right? So we're gonna cure that. And last night was more of the prep. So it didn't really look too, you know what I'm saying? I was looking at it this morning like, what the hell did I do? I was almost second guessing myself, but I was like, nah, that's not it. It's a process. All I did was lay the groundwork yesterday while we had the conversation. So now that I let it sit for a little while and let it speak, and it's still speaking, now we can catch up with the conversation, so to speak. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, you know what I mean? And I've been doing that with a lot. I still working on the Ninja Turtle ones. Little piece. I still got the big one up top. That's, a little bit at a time. I got a whole bunch over in the corner and stuff. But, it's the retrograde. So I said, I'm going to go back on old paintings that maybe aren't really finished. And with this Pisces moon tonight, Pisces is all about the imagination, creativity. I don't know what to expect tonight, but I'm all about the journey. I'm not really about the destination. You know what I mean? Get there when you get there. And that's how I'm treating this one right here. So we're really going to add everything that I've learned about my art style in between there into this. Because this is canvas, where usually for the past couple of years I've been on this wood. And wood and canvas are totally different, especially with brushes. Over here on the wood, I'm doing more of a jab and then holes, and you might have to go a couple of layers before things get. But this is smooth. You know what I mean? I was here the way to worship. Sounds good. Sounds like a painting. Or the beginning of a story that should be told in some way. You know what I mean? Man, I can't tell you you're right or you're wrong. You are who you are. I don't even get into them conversations anymore. You know what I mean? If you say so. I'm not here to discredit it or anything else. It sounds better than half the shit out here anyway. You know what I mean? So this is basically a change of perspective. yada yada. And I got a lot more colors than I did the first time. So we got a lot to play with. We got a whole lot to play with. And that's what I'm really going to do for the next maybe 2-3 sessions, is just really play with some of these colors. To get out of the mind state of what I thought it should have been and let it become what it should be, or what it was meant to be. If that makes sense. So we're just going to experiment and play like little kids play. But I noticed today at the school, even at a young age, this influence, not quite sure what to do. A lot of the kids were doing what everybody else was doing. We did these little clay models. And a few people who were on the frequency, so to speak, were coming up with wild ideas. And then everybody else kind of got on board with it. It was quite interesting to look at from a teaching perspective. This feels more like wisdom. I think this is going to be an older woman. That's what it really feels like. It feels like a lot of wisdom. I'm halfway ready to just lay it all down and just start sprinkling colors on this, just to see what it looks like. But we'll get there. So what I'm feeling led to do now is even pulling her face over even more. Like such. Well, anyway, that's my little rant for the opening of this session. And if you're new, we do about an hour, mostly an hour. Sometimes we go over, sometimes we go a little, we don't go quite as long, but generally an hour. And that's what I encourage people to do, is take at least an hour if you can, to explore your own shit. To hear your own voice. Or just, chill out. Have a conversation. I don't care. I don't care. The only thing I wish I could incorporate was some background music. You know how these folks is. They'll pause your whole video and kick you right off. But it's about the feeling. And that's what I'm doing now, just feeling it out. So we're going to add some, I need some red. Let's try some of this. I ain't never used this before. Pink blossom. Oh, I like that. Some pink blossom. I think I got a lot of purple. a special night. I'm on the cusp of 300 subscribers, which is a big deal. I'm at 299, and that by itself is a celebration. Look at that green. This would be green. Let's see. Some of this I definitely want to keep. I love this dragon. Move some of this out y'all way. My bad. Check in right quick. Let's get some more resin in here. good ears ringing. I'll give her some really big Pisces eyes. It's one of the trait of a Pisces, if you ever know it, is their eyes. They're giveaways. They're giveaways. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Let's see what top y'all. Well, nice little old anymore. Let's zoom y'all in a little bit. I do have white guys. All right. We gotta go to the resin store. Running low. That's a no-no. move them up just a little bit more. That's not a problem. Yeah, about right there. Now take this down. I could use some burnt sienna. I have it. No worries. All right, let's slide over a little bit. And we'll touch that up as we go. Let's get we got a lot of room. We could even just do it like that. Take this canvas out and just deal with these two pieces. which would make more sense, really. Let's go get that out of there. So we're 47 minutes in. And it feels a lot better than it did when I first started. This reminds me of my auntie Maritha. She was like the warrior of our family, the feminine one anyway. You go to her trailer, she had a big ass picture of Sitting Bull right there as soon as you walked in. She was that type. But she struggled with diabetes for the last part of her life. And her living wish was to help see her son graduate, my cousin Matthew. And she did. It was maybe 2-3 months before his graduation, but he had already passed, so she had seen the fruition of it. And when we went to go see her in the hospital after she had passed, there was confirmation of that. I'll never forget it. First of all, the hallway was like, it was like one of the movies, you know, when you see the hallway and that shit just keeps stretching down and down like it's endless. I'm sitting there walking with my cousin, got him in my arms and shit. He's totally out of it. He's done. He's done. So we bank a little left and go straight into this room. And they have her on the table and everything. And it was one of those really surreal kind of moments for me in my life. Because in the midst of all this, because, I mean, it's not like we didn't know. She was deteriorating, blah, 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 but it still kind of caught us all off guard. But she had the most, I don't even know what words to use, but it was like the most childlike smile on her face. And that was the moment I knew she was good. It was one of those smiles of a little 2-year-old. Kind of like that little girl I talked about earlier in the dollar store. And everything just went right out the window for me. Because this was the second time. First time was my grandmother when she passed, but whenever my close kin pass on, they always come to me in dreams, and she came in a dream about 2-3 nights later, looking like she did back in the 90s and shit. Jeans, all that other shit, you know what I mean? But I will never forget that smile. And this is what that kind of reminds me of. Where it is right now. And it always made me wonder what she saw right before or whatever, you know, when she crossed over. It must have been the most beautiful thing in the world. Like liberating thing in the world. I was just happy she didn't have to go through no more bullshit. I almost wish I took a picture. I almost wish I took a picture of that shit. We have 58. So we're going to use up the rest of these colors real quick and just get them on canvas and let it dry, and then we'll come back for another round. And we'll see what comes out of that one. Yeah, but I say shout out to Aunt Maritha. Where we at? Oh, you're back. What's up? What's up? Yeah, it really doesn't even do it justice. If y'all can see what I see, uh, technology can only do so much. But that's all the colors that are in there. And it looks way different. Well, I don't know how long you've been, but I just shared a story about my aunt and how this reminded me of the last time I saw her. When we went to see her in the hospital to view the body. That's usually one of those episodes folks just, check out. But for me, it definitely checked me in the game. Because I've never seen somebody with such a smile on their face. Like locked in her face. It was almost like the last thing she saw was, you know, Lord knows, but it must have been beautiful as hell. And that's when I knew death wasn't a bad thing. And it changed my whole view on loss, which is very much a Pisces trait. This is a celebration of the Pisces moon tonight, right? Almost like avoidance. And maybe it says a lot about some of the things that I went through recently as well. And I even heard one of my favorite readers say it earlier today about how they hope we learn from what they went through. And I learned a lot from these people in my family. Everybody who was on board with it, everybody who supported me went first. And I got left with all the others. But I soon discovered I also had those people 24/7 now because they were in spirit. So it was one of those times that really changed perspective. Yeah, shout out to Auntie. No, this is a ode to kind of what she saw when she crossed over because she was that type too. That's what I was saying about conversation. Conversation has changed. Now it has more meaning on top of it, but it still bears the texture from the previous conversation, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I gotta be real mindful about the shit I do and say now. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, can't fake the funk like the family gatherings and shit. Blah blah blah. Well, that's cool. There's nothing like a little honesty. Get you back in line. we got a bit of that Sean D. Jackson from yesterday with a bit of Auntie Mai today. I'm curious to see what or who shows up tomorrow. Oh, really? I mean, shit. Let's see if I can get this better. That looks more about what I'm looking at. Let me put something back there. Charger better be good for something. I like seeing it because it's reversed. It's funny when you see it in reverse, you really see where you're fucking up. Not fucking up, but where certain things need to come into play. Let's do it. Hell, I think you might make a ball. Shit. That would be new. Wouldn't be a bad look either. Stick some white in here just to see. A really short hair. Perfect. feel like I want one more color before this gets wrapped up. Definitely feel better about this. Big enough for that. Let me go in the vault. Let's see what I can pull out. What do we got? Lavender. Tea. Lavender, navy blue, and some sailing sky. What the fuck is that? What that look like? Ooh, that's really good for highlights, for darker spaces. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And bigger brush. And what the hell? It's Pisces moon night. Might do a little overtime. Alright, say goodbye to the old. And we can use that out of this. Then bring it back to a little bit of brown. Fix that little bit right there. And I'm gonna take this time to give a shout out to y'all. Thank you for the 299 people who have subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that. Sitting on the cusp of 300. So that's a really big deal for me. Oh yeah, and it's good for that too. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of all that shit. All right, that was fun. Try a little bit. Or do we do Navy already? We did Navy, didn't we? Yeah, that's Navy. Let's try some of this sailing sky. Whatever the fuck this is. Just see what it look like. It's good highlight. Let's see how well it works with this blue. And last but not least, the lavender. Damn, we got an hour and a half. I like how soft that blue is. Yep, so much for them. So much for them. Oh, man, you got an earring over there. About to fall. Damn. Really good. And I'm missing the top. Damn it. All right. Nah, it's the remainder of that dragon that used to be there. So we'll keep it. Fuck it, I don't care. It was meant to be. For that black. Last thing I swear. Because I want to save some work for tomorrow. Or this weekend. I know I'm going to have a little downtime. And this energy is going to be here well into the weekend. So why not? Just to feel what her head's going to look like. Just a little bit. Damn it. That's a little too much. That's all right. All right. So maybe there's more story here. That shit done totally changed. I might as well just use that for something else. Just get rid of that. I'm not even mad about that. Not at all. are good. We got something for another night. Play with. So let's see how this works. All right. Yeah, that looks better from this angle. And there we go. And now it's just 2 boards instead of 3. I got, it seems like perfect spacing. So the lesson was less is more. Thank you, Auntie. Less is more. But I like the face. Yeah. That little smirk. So we'll do something with the top of the head. I don't know what the background will look like. I'm not throwing that away because I like that. It almost looks like she's touching the cheeks now, so maybe we'll do something with that. Yeah, thank you. It feels better. It definitely feels better. And that was the whole point. Like I said, the other ones, yeah, it was alright. That might have been alright like 10 years ago for me. And I never was good at going what everybody else said, especially when it came to the art. All right. Well, happy full moon to everybody. Hope y'all had a good time. I had a good time. Going back through and revisiting some things. Maybe we'll work on this bird here too. It's not bad. It just needs work. Not much. All right, y'all. Superman has left the building. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all sometime this weekend. Appreciate y'all. Good night.